The following podcast contains spoilers for Monkey Shines. You've been warned!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of KFR News Radio. This is your host, Glen, Button, along with your host, Miguel Magusto.
Hello.
Hello.
How art thou?
I'm hoping I can move my mic and there'll be no more nudity scenes. We'll see. We'll find out. Good luck.
There's just the one more, I believe. And it's a long one.
He's currently in the bed at home now, paralyzed. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure we're good.
We'll see. We'll try to finish this before the sex scene comes up.
Yes.
Yeah. How you doing, Glenn?
I'm okay. How are you doing, Mike?
Oh, I am hot and sweaty. I feel like I look like garbage.
I'm kind of right there with you, to be honest.
I'm currently sitting on 2 ice packs. They've already lost their cold. Their coldness.
Are you actually?
Yeah, I am. Because I can't have the fan on, so I'm just like, I was already hot.
I've got mine at a nice level 1, and I don't feel anything.
I'm looking at myself. I feel like I look like
looking like Mona Lisa
hot
herself.
Mess. Hot mess.
Hot ass.
Yes. But Glenn,
yes.
Let's stop subjecting me or objectifying me. What have you watched this week?
So this week is in the last 2 weeks. I have watched just a few and kind of half of one, but we'll get into that in a minute. I watched Maxine with you, believe it or not. We did a little review out on YouTube for that. We did it. It's there. It's out. It's existing. First trilogy, I think. We never actually looked that up, I don't think. But we think first
like
trilogy we've reviewed.
First trilogy where we reviewed every single one of them.
Yep. And then after that, I was a little bored one day, and I didn't feel like doing any games. I didn't feel like reading any books, and I felt like just maybe, I should continue watching movies from 2023 that I haven't watched before, because I should really get the fuck on that. And so I did, and I watched Anatomy of a Fall. I'm sorry. I think what was putting me off for so long is it's the subtitles at this point. I don't want there to be distractions when I'm watching these things.
Yeah.
And this one, for the most part, some of it's in English, but also for the most part, it's not in English.
Yeah, it's in French as well.
So, really fucking good. What a movie. I don't want to say too many things about it. Everybody's performances were so good, and just it was so French. Everybody was so French and English.
It's true.
So great.
And German. The main actress is German.
Here's a random one that I watched. Thumbelina.
That is very random.
Don't know why. Yeah, I did it. And that movie is for kids. So that's as far as I got with that. And then I did a little rewatch as well. And that was Back to the Future. I saw it on Netflix. I'm like, damn, I really want to watch that. And there's just some movies that no matter how long it takes for you to maybe rewatch them, or maybe you'll watch them like 1,000 times, there's just those movies out there that are just so fucking good that you're, even after you've watched it maybe 100 times or whatever, you're still like, this movie still holds up in almost every aspect. I feel like, to me, Back to the Future is one of those movies. It's so damn good. You could rewatch it 1,000,000 times, and God damn it, I just might. After that, I watched Monkey Shines, which we shall get into in a minute. But Mike, what did you watch, goddamn?
Yes, well, I had a big movie 2 weeks. I watched 11 movies. Did a couple of marathons, which has been a while since I've done those.
Been a while.
The first one I watched was A Quiet Place Day 1. Saw this the day we saw Maxine, but earlier in the day.
Yes.
I was never a huge fan of the Quiet Place series. I think I understand why people like the first one, but I wasn't that impressed with it. I have a big problem whenever directors or actors who are directing put themselves in movies. I don't know why. They have every right to do it, but it bothers me.
Looking at you, Ben Affleck, you motherfucker.
His movies were better when he wasn't in them.
Yeah.
Which is just Gone Baby Gone. But that's not true. I like Argo and The Town as well. But anyway, I digress. The thing that I like most about A Quiet Place is, yes, the plot is about the first day those aliens come. But the subplot, which was like the character development plot, was Lupita Nyong'o just trying to get pizza.
And goddamn, that cat surviving, right?
And that cat surviving. And if we need more apocalyptic movies where like the character's goal is very simple, because I tell you, nothing has been more relatable than her just being like, I want to get that last pizza. Yeah. And of course, it's part of the plot, so this isn't a spoiler. She has a terminal illness. I believe it's cancer. I don't know if they ever specify. And that she's just trying to like get the pizza from her childhood and everything. But you know, it just added like such a relatable aspect to it that, you know, I couldn't help but love it. But otherwise, it's an okay movie. You know, I personally think it's better than part 2. Yeah. Possibly better than part 1 in my opinion. Again, I wasn't a huge fan of part 1. I didn't dislike it, just wasn't a huge fan. But anyway, that's Quiet Place Day 1. Then I watched Janet Planet, which is an A24 movie, which is just essentially following a woman and her daughter as she spends like a summer with 3 different people, and like each act is a different person, and it's very like quiet and ethereal, and I think that's the right word. I'm not sure. You know me, I just say words and hope it's the right one.
I've been rubbing off for you for too long.
Yes, you have. It's just, I don't know. I just really liked it. I mean, it's not like a movie that's going to wow you, but it's just like, it was just a nice movie to watch. It's just, you know, quiet. It's peaceful. It's pretty funny at times too. And, I really enjoyed it. Then we watched Maxine. We have a review for that on YouTube. I watched Problemista, another A24 film, which is about a immigrant from, I forget where he's from, but it's he's essentially lost his job, so he needs to get another job or else he loses his visa. And he's trying to be an aspiring toy designer, and he starts working for Tilda Swinton's character, who is a art director, she's like in the art world and just completely insane. And that's where like the comedy comes from. Is Tilda Swinton just like eating up the scenery?
I remember this movie.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie, and is pretty funny. Julio Torres, who wrote and directed it and starred in it too. For some reason, when it's a comedy, I don't mind it as much. I couldn't tell you. My brain is not logical when it comes to that.
It's all right.
And it's just, but yeah, really suggest people check that out. Skipping ahead a bit, saw Inside Out 2.
Did you see that with the baby boy?
No, I saw it by myself.
Oh, no.
I did a double feature. You're going to love the movie that I saw the double feature for.
Okay.
And Inside Out 2 loses all the heart of the first one, in my opinion. Does a really good job at showing anxiety, but, you know, there's nothing to write home about because it's just not as interesting as the first one. Then I followed that up by watching Longlegs.
What a back-to-back.
Yes, the Osgood Perkins horror movie about a satanic serial killer, played by Nicolas Cage. So there's that. Then I was on a bachelor party, at a bachelor party, and the groom really likes watching horror movies with friends. So we watched The Ritual, The Platform, and No One Will Save You. Of course, all rewatches for me, because
I think it's only one of those that I didn't watch. What was the middle one?
The Platform. It's a Spanish movie. That I believe it's definitely nominated for a Stony. I don't know if it won a Stony, but I highly suggest you check it out. And then I watched Monkey Shines, which we're going to get into right now.
Once there was a man whose prison was a chair. The man had a monkey. They made the strangest pair.
What kind of experiment was it, Jeff? What did you do to Ella? What did you do to me?
The man was the prisoner. The monkey held the key.
You want to be the boss now, is that it? Stop it!
No matter how he tried, the man couldn't flee. Locked in his prison, terrified and frail.
Jeff, what is it? Jeff, she's here! She's down here!
The monkey gaining power, keeping him in jail.
Ella, no, don't do it!
The man tried to keep the monkey from his brain, but every move he made became the monkey's gain.
Did you do that, or did she?
She did it.
That's right. She did it.
The monkey ruled the man, It climbed inside his head. And now, as fate would have it, one of them is dead. Monkey Shines, an experiment in fear.
A quadriplegic man has a trained monkey help him with his paralysis until the little monkey begins to develop feelings and rage against its new master.
Yes, directed by George A. Romero, written by George A. Romero, based on the novel by Michael Stewart, starring Jason Beghe, or Beghe, however you want to pronounce that, John Pankow, Kate McNeil, Stephen Root's in there, Stanley Tucci's in there. Boo is the monkey. Oh, sorry about that. That's just the monkey's name. But yes, so this came up on Streaming Roulette, and it's just one of those movies that, like, if you're into movies, it's brought up at least once a year for some reason. Like, I've heard about this movie a lot, and just never saw it because I'm not that big into, what is this, 80s movies? Yeah, I'm not really that big into 80s movies. I think 80s were, in my opinion, a not great time for movies. Yes, there are some great movies from the 80s, but overall, not a great time for movies. And I say that as, someone who watches hundreds of movies every year, not just the 10 most popular ones. The 10 most popular ones are usually worth talking about for the 80s, but, the rest of it kind of sucks. And yeah, so when this came up, it was kind of a no-brainer to pick it when it came up in Streaming Roulette.
I had never heard of this movie prior
Really?
to
Okay.
this.
I thought it was a Stephen King novel, but I was wrong about that.
Oh, you bastard. I can't believe it.
I'm a bastard. It's a Michael Stewart novel.
How trickery of you, you son of a bitch.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin, to be honest, with this movie. In good ways, honestly, because as far as horrific, kind of sci-fi 80s movies go, they could be really fucking bad. And there's a handful that I can't really name off the top of my head, but there's a lot out there that is just kind of like everybody, at least the horror community, will praise, and then I'll watch it and be like...
I know one that you're thinking of, probably Reanimator.
I actually reviewed that on YouTube.
Yeah.
But there's so many movies like it, at least with the kind of like in a circumstance where it's kind of like a cheesy plot, and then the movie goes on and everybody's taking the plot serious, but it's such a bad plot that it's hard to take serious as a viewer. This one, in a way, is not as cheesy because. It kind of makes sense, having a little helper help you that's not a human, and while you're a paraplegic. But the way it goes is the bug. My screen keeps going full screen, and then I don't know. Is that happening for you for IMDb? The psychological horror is getting to me here. I don't know what's going on.
No, it's not. I'm Gucci.
There's so many movies from the 80s where it's just like this movie is hard to just kind of watch, but this kind of had me. I can't lie about it. There's so many goofy things, and just the fun that was between the monkey and Mr. Ace himself, Alan. They were fun together. I honestly thought that Jeff was going to be like this ultra villain throughout the whole movie, and in ways he kind of is. Everybody's kind of their own villain in this movie. But he was just kind of an asshole who had a certification for animal cruelty, for professionalism for it, in ways, depending on your point of view for it. Where was I even going with that? I don't even know. But I don't know. I had a lot of fun with watching, everybody interact with everybody. The monkey was like, you could tell it was very well trained in doing just funny things throughout the movie, like feeding him like little treats that it was supposed to be eating, or like just doing things with the wheelchair or the lights or all that. It was fun just watching everything just happen and go down with a cheesy plot, I'll say, but George did it in such a way that it didn't really feel that cheesy until moments kind of towards the end where Alan's kind of talking to the monkey, but I feel like we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Anything for you?
Yeah. Oh, Right off the bat, I loved that they put the no monkey was harmed disclaimer at the beginning, because whenever I see like an animal in a dangerous situation or a potentially harmful situation in a movie, I can't really focus on it until I look up if the animal was treated well, and it just it was just shot in such a creative way that it looked
especially when
horrible.
It's a rated R movie too.
Yeah, especially. I mean, going past that though, it's kind of obvious for the majority of the times that the scenes where the monkey was in danger, it was just a stuffed monkey. There are other times where it's like a little more of a gray area, but like the fact that they put that disclaimer up there really like put me at ease.
I think the one moment I was thinking, like, was that a fucking real thing? Is the bird falling out of the slipper? I was like, that kind of looked like a real bird for a second.
I mean, they're able to use carcasses of other animals, and I mean, they only specified monkeys in the.
That's true.
So who knows? But yeah, they're able to use carcasses. Like the movie Godland. Has a decomposing horse throughout the movie. Like it's like a staple that they every now and then go back to it. And they shot that practically. Of course, they didn't kill the horse. The horse was already dead. They just placed it where they wanted to shoot it and then just let it decompose over time. So like if they obtain the animal in like ethical ways, then they can still use it. So it's possible they did that with the bird. That happened for another movie called Kess. I believe it's called Kess, a movie about like a kid who's like trying to train a hawk. Yeah, Kess. And there's a dead hawk in it, and they used a hawk that died of natural causes for that particular scene. So it's possible that if it was a real bird, it had died previously. It's also possible that they killed it and they just hit it well. So who knows?
They just left us in the dark to figure it out. 30 years later. Actually, oh my God, almost 40 years later.
Yeah. I mean, this movie was a good balance of cheesy and actually pretty, I don't want to say terrifying, but like suspenseful. Where it's like, I mean, the concept is a little silly. Where like it's like The Shining, but with a monkey instead of another human, and it's an adorable monkey. Like Ella,
it is a really
adorable.
Monkey.
It's so cute. So like when it's just like being chaotic, I'm just like, I mean, I'd be irritated, but it's just kind of cute.
Oh my
at this
God!
Point. Like
especially
when it kills the mom.
Yeah.
It was so
Ella,
cute doing
come
that.
on. What
It was like looking at the hair dryer and just like. It's just, I couldn't help but just fall in love with the monkey.
Especially when like the parts where the nurse had to kind of act like the monkey was like the worst thing in the world. Like I said earlier, everybody was a villain in their own way in this movie.
Yeah.
More or less that kind of more saying that everyone was an asshole in this movie in certain parts. Like the nurse who's supposed to be helping Alan, because he's quadriplegic.
Totally unprofessional.
Completely unprofessional in every way.
And like, yes, he's an asshole to her, but like, she kind of started it.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Like she should expect him to be slightly irritated because he just became paralyzed. He became a quadriplegic.
Yeah.
And that's a tough transition for anyone. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of egged him on a bit, like kept being an asshole to him. And like, if she had been a good nurse to him, I would have been like, oh yeah, he's just being an asshole. But I was just like, yeah, why did you bring your bird? Why do you have your bird?
They were just giving it back and forth to each other like the whole time.
Yeah.
Especially, especially like before he even got the monkey, like they were kind of just being assholes to each other. And then the monkey came, and then 100% I understand her frustration with it because she's not getting paid to also, take care of the monkey. But now it's technically like another form of him. It's like a service dog in a way, or animal, I should say, like a service animal. But I can understand her frustrations with that, and it attacking her bird, even though that was like way later. Holy shit, I gotta sneeze. But, you know, those two were villains in their own way. And then, you know, the girlfriend just casually cheating on him with his doctor. The doctor obviously sleeping with his girlfriend.
That's arguably worse.
It is arguably worse. But you can't drop hate on Stanley Tucci getting some coochie. You can't. You just can't.
You just wanted to say that.
I dude. As soon as I saw the scene, I was like, yes.
Yeah. But with the girlfriend, like, depending on how long they've been together, it's completely understandable if they like say they were only dating for like 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
That she would not be prepared for that kind of change, and she would want to leave him. Does it suck? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's understandable. Now, if they had been together for like 5 years, less understandable. You know, the longer it goes on, the more the less understandable it is.
It's kind of curious that time frame that they had been together. 'Cause I kind of assumed in a way that they'd probably been together since college. But also, I don't know how old Alan is, so it's hard to say.
Oh, he's 30, 50, and 25 at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, but the thing that makes Linda a real jerk is that she obviously started this relationship with the doctor while he was still recovering, and probably before they broke up because of the like how they interacted at the homecoming party and everything.
Oh, 100%.
So it's shitty it's unprofessional for Stanley Tucci to even like acknowledge her as a sexual being in that sense, and to try to pursue her romantically. Unprofessional. And it's, you know, just kind of a bitch move on her part to do that. But yeah, the leaving him because of the paralyzed is the most understandable part of that whole scenario.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it's understandable. Like, it's a lot to put on someone, especially if you're not married. So I got that. But then, of course, they just made it, you know, worse by the clear affair she was having. And then, like...
Especially, like... when he was at the hospital, after he tried to commit the suits, because she showed up at the hospital to come see the doctor, not knowing that Alan was there trying to commit the suits. It's a thing. I'm trying to patent it.
Yeah. What happened to committing Sudoku?
Dude, I forgot about Sudoku. I can't lie.
That's my favorite one.
You're committing the Sudoku, and then you've got Jeff, who's an asshole in his own way. I kind of explained that he's a professional.
He's an asshole, but he's a good friend.
He was a really good friend.
His end game to everything he does is noble and what a good friend should do. The way he goes about it is asshole-ish. So.
And the mom's very, like, she's a hero in this too, I think. Maybe she was,
she's overbearing.
She's overbearing, I'll give her that. But she had also good intentions with everything she was trying to do. Like, she sold the lake house to live with
I mean, to do that without talking to him is a little manipulative.
Yes. But I know she's paying for all the medical stuff. So... and obviously Alan couldn't do any of that, like paying for any of that anymore.
Still.
So overbearing, a little bit, but I mean, she was there for her son when he couldn't do anything.
Again, like
had
Jeff,
a cheating girlfriend, lost a nurse basically.
Like Jeff, good intentions, but the way she goes about it is horrible.
Sorry, I had a big swig. Yeah, everybody's a villain in their own right in this movie. And Alan, God, he was so funny in this movie, especially during like the last hour to like half hour area.
Yeah.
Like when he's like just talking to Ella and just like once we figure out once we end, he figures out what's going on with this whole like shit that's going down. Between this connection that they have between each other and what Ella's doing and what he thinks he's doing. It gets so fucking funny, just the way he talks to her.
Yeah.
You fucking bitch. Just
how could you call that precious thing a bitch?
Oh my God, just love that. She's like doing all this cute shit. She's like fucking grabbing cassette tapes and like
There's never been a cuter murderer.
Getting him grapes
world.
and shit, and she's like being all cute. And Mike, when you edit this, or whoever's editing it, I don't remember.
I believe it's me.
I'm doing all this shit. She's like grabbing grapes, shit, shoving them in his mouth, and he's like, "You fucking asshole! Yeah, you're clever, aren't you, you motherfucker? I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you." Dude, I was laughing at that just the whole time. Just how funny he was being. Yeah. I can only imagine being Jason and just being like, so I have to like be very angry at this monkey? Like, how do you want me to convey this? Like, how do you want me to do this visually? Like,
I mean, well, he did great for.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like not being able to move most of his body. Mm-hmm. There were a few points where I think he moved his neck too much.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but the X-ray that they showed was pretty high up in the spine.
Yeah.
So like there are scenes where he's like, he's moving his shoulders a little bit, and to. I mean, I'm assuming I have zero experience with this, so I have no idea. Based on where the X-ray, the break is, I don't think he'd be able to move his neck much at all. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's a movie about a killer monkey, so it's something I'm willing to overlook. But that was just something that, like, every now and then I was just like, "You're moving a bit too much." But other than those moments, he did a really good job. There was never like. I was watching his hands a lot of the time because the whole thing was like, oh, we could do this surgery if you can move your hands.
Yeah.
And he kept them still.
Yeah.
He kept them real still. There was
like one or two scenes where he slightly moved, but I think that was more momentum of him like being shaken or anything like that than actually him like actually moving.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But he also looks like really familiar, like another actor, and I can't really put my hands on it or my finger on it. Whatever the saying is, I'm tired. I've been waking up too early lately. There are times that I felt like he looked like a blonde Henry Cavill.
I could see it there. He definitely has a face that's like reminiscent to other people. I probably have the same face in my head. I just cannot think of it. Or like think of the actual person.
There were other times I thought he looked like Sam Worthington.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little more gaunt maybe. And then there's a couple times where I thought he looked like Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son.
Yeah.
So it was just like a combination of those three actors, and I was just like but it was enough to like when he has the beard is when he looks the most like Henry Cavill in my opinion.
Let me look. I think I might have a person in my head.
Yeah, but it's I just
James Caan.
James,
a little.
I could see that. When he was younger.
I think that's the main one I had in my head. Him or kind of George C. Scott a little bit. That's kind of reaching, but
I feel like his face is more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Mostly when they were younger, I feel like.
Yeah, his face is more like conventionally handsome than theirs is. They're both good-looking guys, but his is just like, the normal Hollywood type look.
Yeah. Also, George has a huge nose. So
yes, which is probably why we can't put our finger on who he looks like, because he just looks like what Hollywood wants every leading man to look like.
Yeah.
But yeah, every time he was talking, it was just like the way he would like use his eyes. I was like, oh, that's like an Eastwood thing. But he doesn't look like Clint Eastwood. I thought he looked more like Scott Eastwood,
like kind of like a mob bossy type thing of just like, God damn you.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun watching this. And I think George A. Romero is obviously like mainly known for his indie stuff, like Night of the Living Dead and everything, Dawn of the Dead. And I think this might be the first of his movies that like actually had a relatively large budget and looked really professional that I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has others, especially later in life, but like I can't think of them. But I was impressed with the visuals in this film that he had done.
He's got a lot of dead movies, huh?
Well, I mean he kind of invented the genre.
That was his thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then O.J. Simpson, Juice on the Loose. I had a lot of fun with this movie, surprisingly. Like, I kind of expected, as far as most of those, like, 80s horrors go, kind of expected to kind of tune it out maybe a little bit and just kind of get down with the cheese and have some fun. This wasn't as cheesy as I thought it was going to be. It was pretty like good as far as the characters go, and they were all kind of assholes in their own right. But like, I mean, they were all like enough to connect with in some ways, even though they were being assholes to each other like the whole time. And then just the interactions between Alan and Ella. Oh my God! Especially towards the end of the movie, just kind of sealed the deal with how I felt about it. I was like, this is hilarious.
I loved when she was threatening him with the straight edge.
Yeah.
She was like, ah!
and then poor Ella. Then when it came time for her demise, that scene where he grabs her with his teeth and just, they were probably like, all right, we'll yell cut. Just keep fucking going.
Yeah, that was another one of those times where like I was like, you're moving your neck way too much.
Yeah.
But
for that scene, people, let me describe.
Pretty
he grabbed her with his teeth and just fucking they let him go.
He
for
alligated
so
her
long.
without the rolling.
Yep.
Or sharks. I think sharks do that too.
I thought his hands were going to come back at that moment. Like I thought, I think that would have been super cheesy if they did.
Yeah.
But I thought that would have been the moment they came back and he fucking gripped her up. I was like, not today, bitch. Done. But I'm glad they went the way they did. As funny as it kind of looked, it was his only real self defense that he had. Yeah. So, yeah, I had fun with this movie. I'm glad we picked it.
Let me see if I have anything else to say. I don't think I do.
Quadriplegic sex, man. One of the only few films.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a fun fact. That's not just me saying that.
Yeah.
It's actually.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. In the end, after his successful surgery, first of all, the dream of the monkey bursting through his back actually got me pretty.
Yeah. Oh
pretty
my
good.
God. Yeah.
Where I was just like, they're gonna have him flatlined on the table, like really, and then the monkey. I was like, oh shit.
The alien.
Yeah.
It's fucking chest burst,
and
man.
it's a pretty cool looking effect too with the
only thing I really didn't like as far as the kind of practical effects goes was when he was under the knife and it just looked like he was getting like his body was like a rotisserie chicken or like pig skin.
Yeah, it looked way too delicious.
I was like, I could take a bite out of that, I think.
But then after his surgery, when when it was successful, he got all of his movement back way too fast. Like, it doesn't matter how successful the surgery is. You're going to need, like, months, if not years of physical therapy. And he just is able to walk out of the hospital. I mean, he's pushed out in a wheelchair, but then he gets up with, like, all he needs is a crutch. I'm like, okay, you're pushing a little bit, but I get it. You're trying to show that he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was just a surprisingly decent movie. I expected it to be a lot dumber, but I had fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say.
Me too, Bobby.
Yeah, so that does it for a review of Monkey Shines. That brings us to our judgment. As always, it needs to be unanimous judgment with our knuckles and KFR Shelf with the likes of Apostle and Handmaiden. Glenn.
Yeah, I'll
heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. And it is tails, so you get to pick first.
I'll go first. It's fine. As far as 80s horror movies go, I think this might be one of the top dogs. As far as, obviously there's some really big juggernauts like that, but as far as kind of the stupid horror 80s movies go, I think this is one of the top dogs. I enjoyed this way more than I thought I would. And I would recommend it to people. I think I would. I'd be like, hey, go. Hey, you liked Nope, right? With the monkey scene and all that, and just how berserky went.
Completely different monkey scene. Nope is way more terrifying.
Give this one a try.
Yes.
So it's a little more funny. Go for it. Go for it, guy. But Michael, what about you?
I mean, yeah, it exceeded my expectations. I thought it was going to be dumb, despite it being directed by George A. Romero. And it was kind of dumb, but also not. Mm-hmm. Like, everything in it was, with the exception of, like, the paranormal stuff, like The Shine, was believable and, like, something that would potentially happen. Although I'd rather be bitten by a dog than get hit by a bus, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that part's a little sketchy.
Oh my God, I forgot to mention one of the funniest parts. The bricks flying up in the air when he was flying in the air after he got hit by the bus.
Oh, yeah.
They just were like, hey, just like jump in the air. We'll throw like 4 or 5 bricks, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't try to be anything else other than what it is. And it's entertaining because of that. So yeah, I would say it goes on the shelf as well.
Yes, sir. There's not enough for me to dislike anything enough to not put it on the shelf.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, Monkey Shines goes onto the KFR shelf with the likes of Apostle and Handmaiden.
Wow.
That brings us to next episode. We are going to start doing our Stoneys finally, because Glenn has watched a few things finally.
Yes, I have.
So, next episode in 2 weeks is going to be the nominees announcement. And then 2 weeks after that is going to be the Stoneys. And then 2 weeks after that, in August.
In August is when the Stoneys are coming out.
No,
roughly.
Well, actually, yeah, they are coming out in August. So maybe in September. So yes, in September, the first episode of September. This is a movie. I normally, let Glenn pick a number. To be completely honest, I forgot to check to make sure all the movies on the list were on streaming services. And then I already sent you the link before doing that. So I was like, I'm gonna just pick one.
Yeah.
And so this is one that Glenn has seen as a kid.
Ooh.
Bits and pieces of.
That would make sense. Why you asked that.
Yeah. And also, the day we're recording this is Major League Baseball's All-Star Game. So it had me just thinking about baseball. And I love baseball. And the Phillies are doing great so far this season. Knock on wood. Hopefully they continue to do pretty good. And Glenn has not seen fully, The Sandlot.
I know you're smart, and I'm proud of you. I want you to make some friends this summer.
Meet Scotty Smalls.
Kale, get it! The kid is a L7 weenie. My life's over.
Man, this is baseball. You gotta stop thinking. You just have fun.
Climb trees, hop fences, get into trouble.
Just stand there and stick your glove out in the air. I'll take care of it.
Now he's in.
Yeah! All right!
With the coolest guys in the neighborhood. They've got the look.
Wendy Peppercorn. Wow. Hey, girls.
They've got the moves. They've got the rap.
Blockhead, geek, jerk, idiot, moron. You bob for apples in the toilet, and you like it. You play ball like a girl.
The Sandlot. A little piece of paradise, a half a block wide, and a whole season long.
There's a lot of references to this movie that I don't understand because I haven't seen it since I was real young.
This was a big movie when I was a kid. I love baseball. It's probably I like hockey and baseball equally, but I think I just know more about baseball. I don't know. Yeah. They're completely different games, completely different parts of the year.
Yeah.
But this was a huge part in my of my childhood. So it's going to be on Hulu. You can also rent it. It might also be available on Disney Plus, but that might only be if you do the Hulu Disney bundle.
Probably.
In the summer of 1962, a new kid in town is taken under the wing of a young baseball prodigy and his rowdy team, resulting in many adventures. Directed by David Mickey Evans, written by David Mickey Evans and Robert Gunter, starring Tom Guerry, Mike Vitar, Art LaFleur, Patrick Renna, Chauncey Leopardi, Marty York, Brandon Quinton Adams. There's a whole bunch of people. Dennis Leary's in there. Karen Allen, your girlfriend.
I love her.
Yes, and James Earl Jones, as well as other people probably. So yeah, this is going to be on Hulu, Disney if you have the Hulu Disney combo thing, but that's just because they connect them. But yeah, I'm excited for you to finally see this. I know you don't like baseball as much as I do.
I don't hate baseball in any way,
but I know you love reminiscing about childhood.
I do. I watch fucking Thumbelina for God's sakes.
Yeah,
don't ask why. It just happened.
So let's just say if you don't like this movie, the podcast is over. KFR is over.
Oh, damn it. Don't say
just
that.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to your thoughts on this one. And so, yeah. So, The next 3 episodes, we got the nominees for the Stoneys, and then the Sandlot. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. As always, you can check out our website at www.keystonefilmreview.com. On Instagram, we're Keystone_film_review. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Keystone Film Review. And on Letterboxd, I'm Mike KFR.
And I'm Glen KFR.
And that will do it until the next 2 episodes when we finally get to talking about last year's movies. And then the episode after that when we talk about the Sandlot. And the Sultan of SWAT.
That movie.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.